Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and this is part 1 of my review of the Master Grade Gundam Deathscythe Hell version EW. And, originally I had recorded this review the first part of this review prior to painting the kit, because I wanted to start making a habit of doing the articulation portion of the review before painting it, so I don't risk scratching up the paint job. But in yet another genius move by me, I accidentally deleted part 1, so I'm now having to re-record it after painting the kit. So I guess I'm just going to have to be careful while doing articulation. Anyway, this is what the kit looks like after it's been painted, obviously, and after having the decals and top coat and all that. If you really want to see what it looks like unpainted, snapped together straight out of the box, you can go back and watch the work in progress video I did for this kit. There's a turnaround near the beginning of it of the kit completely unpainted. Anyway, for plastic colors, you're going to get black for most of the torso and the wings and the feet. You're going to get kind of a purplish gray for the legs and the arms and the lower torso and the face. You're going to get a couple white parts for the forearms, the knees, and the shoulders. One yellow part, actually no, 2 yellow parts, excuse me, for the V-fin and the head Vulcans. You're going to get a few red parts for the chest, on the sides of the face, and the spikes on the wings. And 2 clear parts for the cameras on the head and the eyes, and there's a clear part in the crotch here. Also, you get 1 clear green part for the beam scythe blade. Now, as far as all the stuff you get out of the box, you get the Deathscythe Hell, obviously. You will get a beam scythe, like so. A blade for that beam scythe, or beam scissors, depending on what you want to call it. You'll get 2 small figures of Duo Maxwell, 1 standing up, and 1 sitting down. This one's meant to go in the cockpit. You'll get an action-based connector, which can be mounted in 2 places, up under the crotch and up under the backpack. And you will get several sets of fingers to go on the hands. And I'll explain that a little bit more when we get into the articulation. For decals and stickers, you'll get a small sheet of foil stickers, which I believe had stickers for the eyes and the head cameras, and then the camera on the crotch. You'll get a sheet of clear stickers, and you'll get a sheet of dry transfers, and all of those will be for the various caution markings that are all over the kit. So, I think that about covers everything. Now let's go ahead and get into articulation. First off, I think I'm going to do the articulation of the wings. So, let's see. There's actually a joint connecting the wing backpack to Deathscythe's back, and there's a little hinge on that which lets the wings go forward and back a little bit. Not really a lot, but it does kind of go up and down a little. And then, I think it'd be easier to show this to you on the back. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 joints in the wings. This joint is going to slide out like so, and it can actually go up and down like this and swing in and out like so. And then there's yet another joint here that's going to slide out, and that's a double joint. That it can't really go back very much, but it does curve in. And then these little red spikes on the end of the wings can go up and down. So anyway, that's about all the wings can do. The head is on a double joint. There's a ball joint at the base of the neck that lets the head go up and down. It can rotate 360, but you'll want to be careful because some of these things tend to scratch against each other. The head can go side to side just a little bit. And then there's a hinge at the base of the neck that lets the head go back and down and up and down like that. For the shoulders, there's a joint inside the torso that lets the shoulders go forward about that far. The shoulders can rotate 360, but obviously with these wings back here, they're not going to unless you remove the wings. These white spiky things on the shoulders can go in and out, but I'll go over those in a minute when we do the active cloak little defense mode. The arms can go out about that far. If these are popped out, they can go even further out. There's a rotation below the elbow. Got a double jointed elbow, which can bend about that far, so not quite 180. And then the wrists are on a ball joint, so they can rotate and wiggle. This gray piece of armor down here is actually extended a little bit, so you can move it down like so for some more dramatic poses. The thumb is on a ball joint, and as I mentioned earlier, the fingers are fixed pose, so you'll have to pull those out, and then you can take some of these other sets of fingers and just pop those into place and switch them out like so for different hand positions. For the torso, you're going to have a double ball joint. You've got one at mid-torso and then one at the waist. So you've got some forward and back movement, a little bit of side to side, and his waist can rotate 360. The cockpit hatch does open like so. Just close that back up. Each part of the skirt armor is on a ball joint, so front skirts can rotate and wiggle and go pretty much anywhere you need them to go. So the front skirts can rotate and wiggle and go pretty much anywhere you need them to go. Side skirts also can go up and down and rotate slightly, and then the back skirts can do the same thing. One of my few complaints about this kit is that the skirt armor tends to pop off pretty easily, but I found that since I've painted it, it doesn't happen quite as often. The paint kind of stiffened those joints up a little bit. Anyway, the hip joints can come out about that far as the skirt armor will let it. They can come forward like so. They can go back until they hit the wings. There's a rotation below the hip. The knees can bend pretty much a full 180 like so. And this knee armor is going to slide up and down a little bit when you bend the knees. For the ankles, the ankle armor is separate. This is actually a double ball joint down here, so you got a little bit of side to side, forward and back, and then at the ankle again you've got side to side and forward and back and some rotation there as well. And for the actual foot, the back half of the foot doesn't move, but the front half can go up just a little bit, not much, and then it can move down, and the end of the toe, the big spike, can go up and down as well. Now, one last point I want to go over for the articulation is the, I guess, defense mode for the active cloak. As you can see, I've pulled out all of the wings of the joints, and I've also popped out these white spikes on the shoulders. Now, basically, all you've got to do now is fold down these red spikes on the end of the wings, and then just wrap the active cloak around Deathscythe. And once you get it into place, which is a little bit harder for me since I painted it, made the joints really stiff. Anyway, you've got two little red, actually no, I just realized I'm doing something wrong. I've got to close up this right here. Alright, now we're in business. You've got two little latches right there on the red spikes, and those are just going to connect together, and you'll hear a really loud click when they connect, and then it'll be set. Then all you got to do is take these little white spikes and fold those down, and there you go. Now Deathscythe is in his protected mode. So I guess that about does it for part 1 of Deathscythe's review. And overall, I have to say so far I'm really satisfied with this kit. So make sure to come back for part 2, and we'll go over his one weapon and a few other things before we wrap up. So with that, I will see you guys next time.